In the village of Umuakagu, where red earth stained the soils and the forest whispered secrets to those who dared listen, lived a man named Obina, a hunter unlike any other. Obina was known for his quiet nature, unmatched precision with a bow, and most of all, his strange luck. While other hunters returned with rabbits or the occasional antelope, Obina brought back wild goats, horned bush buck, and once, even a rare forest buffalo. People whispered that the spirits of the forest favored him. But Obina carried a sorrow that made even the brightest mornings grey. Years before, his wife Ngozi had died during childbirth. The child did not survive either. Since then, he poured all his love into the forest, the one place that seemed to understand his silence. One evening, with twilight bleeding across the horizon, Obina ventured deeper into the forbidden stretch of the forest known as Onyamiri, the Eye of Water. It was said that no man who entered returned unchanged. Elders warned of spirits, beasts, and worse, the kindred of the old blood, shapeshifters who wore animal skins by night and human faces by day. But Obina followed the trail of a wounded animal, claw marks, splashes of blood, and broken branches led him to a small clearing. There, lying on its side, was a leopard. Its golden fur was streaked with blood, and one of its legs bent unnaturally. Yet its amber eyes burned with fury and pain. Obina raised his bow. The leopard did not flinch. But something stopped him. Perhaps it was the way it looked at him, not as prey, not as predator, but as equal. Against all logic, Obina lowered his bow. He tore his wrapper and bound the creature's wound. He crushed bitter herbs and fed them to the beast. For 2 nights he camped in the forest, tending the leopard, sharing his food, and telling it stories as if it could understand. On the 3rd morning, the leopard was gone. In its place lay a smooth cowrie necklace, arranged in the shape of a crescent moon. Obina returned to Umuakagu, the necklace tucked inside his pouch. That same week, something strange happened. A young woman appeared at the village square. No one saw where she came from. She was not one of theirs, yet her skin bore the same hue of the Umuakagu people. Her eyes were golden hazel, and her walk, graceful, quiet, was like flowing water. Her name was Ekema. Within days, she had woven herself into the fabric of village life. She fetched water without complaint, sang lullabies to crying children, and helped elders with aching bones. The widows whispered, "She is too good to be true." Obina first saw her at the stream. She was washing clothes, her back to him, and when she turned, their eyes met and held. He froze. For the first time since Ngozi's death, something stirred in his chest. They were married a moon cycle later. At first, their union was a blessing. Obina smiled again. The sun seemed warmer. Ekema brought joy into his home, warm meals, sweet laughter, and songs that made the walls dance. Yet some things were strange. She never ate meat. She never entered the shrine. And on nights when the moon was full, she disappeared until morning. Obina asked once. She only said, "I have dreams I must walk through." You wouldn't understand. He let it be. Love has a way of dulling suspicion. But then came the child. Ekeme fell pregnant within 2 months. The village rejoiced. Drums beat deep into the night. But Obina noticed a change. Ekeme grew restless. She would stare at the forest with longing. Her sleep grew troubled, muttering in a tongue he could not place. On the night of the full moon, when she was heavy with child, Obina could not sleep. A storm brewed outside. The wind moaned like an old widow. And beside him, Ekema was gone. Silently, he followed the wet trail of footprints through the rain, into the forest. There, beneath the twisted baobab tree, he saw her. She was kneeling, but not alone. 3 large leopards stood before her. They did not attack. They circled her, rubbing against her swollen belly as if in affection. Then, before Obina's eyes, she transformed. Her bones cracked. Her skin shimmered. Fur spilled from her back like molten gold. Within moments, where Ekema knelt, a sleek leopard crouched. The storm roared. Lightning flashed. Obina's breath caught in his chest. He stepped back and snapped a twig beneath his foot. The leopards froze. All 4 sets of eyes turned to him. He ran. The next morning, Ikema returned home, her wrapper down, eyes downcast. Obina said nothing. For days, silence stretched between them like a taut drum skin. Then, the baby was born, a healthy boy with golden eyes. Obina named him Ifunanya, love. But he no longer slept soundly. He watched his wife with quiet fear. Was she still Ikema? Or something else? A month later, a tragedy struck. Children began to disappear at night. 1, then 2, then 4. Panic spread like wildfire. Tracks of large cats were found near the compound of the last missing child. The villagers whispered again. We are cursed. A spirit walks among us. A woman who is not a woman. Obina said nothing. But inside, he burned with guilt and confusion. One night, the village priest, Dibia Okoro, knocked on his door. The spirits speak, he said. There is one among us who wears a skin not hers. She must be revealed, or we all perish. Obina shook his head. No. But the Dibia's eyes were cold. Then you have chosen her over your people. The following night, the villagers gathered in the square, torches flickering in the wind. Okoro stood with a calabash filled with red water, truth water, made from bitter roots and sacred ash. All who drank would speak their secrets. When it came to Ikema, she hesitated. Obina stepped forward. She has just given birth. But Ikema took the calabash, held Obina's gaze, and drank. Nothing happened. Then she spoke. I am not what you think I am. But I am no killer. My kind live in the shadow of man, not in his blood. The crowd gasped. You admit it. Okoro thundered. You are one of the kindred. I am leopard born. Daughter of the forest queen. My people protect the balance. We punish the greedy. We avenge the forest wounds. I came to live among you. To love. Not to harm. Then prove it, said Okoro. Find the one who has taken our children. Or leave. That night, Ikema left Ifunanya with Obina and vanished into the forest. For 3 days and nights, she did not return. Then, on the 4th dawn, the villagers woke to a terrifying sound, screams, not of pain, but of fury. At the square, lay the body of Dibia Okoro, his chest torn open. Next to him, in a circle of fire, crouched a massive leopard. Around its neck, the cowrie necklace Obina had once found. Obina stepped forward, pushing through the horrified crowd. The leopard looked at him and changed. It was Ikema. He was the one, she said, her voice trembling. He made a pact with the devourers. Traded the children's souls for power. I have delivered justice. But the villagers, afraid, screamed for her death. Burn the witch. Kill the beast. Obina raised his hands. She is no witch. She is my wife. She saved your children. She saved this village. But fear is a louder voice than reason. They came for her with fire and rope. Obina stood before her. If you kill her, you kill me too. For a heartbeat, silence ruled. Then from behind the crowd came a small voice. I saw her bring back my brother, said a little girl. The leopards protected us in the woods. They did not eat us. They carried us gently. One by one, the missing children emerged, muddy, tired, but alive. The crowd broke into sobs. I turned away. Torches fell. That night, no blood was shed. Ikema did not stay. The next morning, she stood at the forest edge, Ifunanya in her arms. My time among men is over, she said softly. But our child, he will walk between both worlds. Teach him truth. Teach him balance. Obina wept. Will I see you again? She smiled. Only in the dreams of the moon. Then, she vanished into the trees. Years later, the boy Ifunanya grew into a man whose voice could calm storms and whose eyes saw both spirit and man. He became a peacemaker, a teacher, and a legend. Some say he could speak to animals. Others say he vanished into the forest at night and returned with answers to questions no one dared ask. But one thing all agree on. In the heart of Umuakago, where an old hunter's house still stands, there lies a cowrie necklace on a wooden table. And beside it, the paw print of a leopard, frozen in time, as if guarding a love that defied nature.